Hey, good evening. This is Kendall Phillips, the CEO and founder of nonprofit organization Boys to Men. I want to take a few minutes to run you through our program. Our mission is building better men. I believe that the strength of our community rests on the shoulders of our men. And I believe that it's important that we begin to build men to make them better. Sometimes life has thrown things at them and it made them bitter. And this nonprofit organization is to take those men that feel bitter and broken and make them better. So why is this needed? Why is this needed? There's a lack of men mentoring. There's a lack of men mentoring programs, and our organization is to provide those mentoring services to men. I believe that the easiest and the fastest way to get the success is to have mentors or someone who's mastered that particular area, and they can provide those resources to men so that they are able to not have to experience what others have experienced. So that's one of the reasons that I think it's needed, because there's a lack of programs. The other thing, there's a lack of employment opportunities. Because there's a lack of employment opportunities. I believe that whenever the unemployment rate goes up, the crime rate goes up, which is the third reason why we need it. So you can tie those two together: high unemployment, a lack of employment opportunities for men increases the the crime rate, and so we see all type of things that happens when there's nothing for men to do. They are giving something to do, and many times it's not productive. All right. And then why do we need it? Because when we build men, we build our community. Our community becomes solid. Again, it starts with family. And once we build a man, it builds the family builds the community builds the city, and the city builds the state, and the state builds the world. And so it's one building block on top of another building block that is strengthening our community. And then we find a way to create jobs. That's why we need it. So when you think about there's a lack of unemployment, we find a way to create jobs. We find a way to create those jobs, and what can we do? And I believe also that it gives us the ability, because I believe that when you can't find it, you create it. When you can't find it, you create it. And whenever most time when something is not available to us, we find a way to create it. So I think when you think about a lack of job, you think about building men into entrepreneurship. What is it that you're gifted with? How can we support what you're gifted with, so we start creating jobs instead of looking for jobs? And then when you think about the crime rate that's up, we take it to the streets. We find a way to go into the streets and to help to pull men, give them an alternative. What is another alternative to being in the streets? How can we go back? Replenish means to put back in what you took out. And now that we've gotten ourselves to a certain status and place in life, we're able to reach back in and go to the streets and help support those as well. So the overview of our program is we have young men who lack high school education. So we provide those tools for them to be able to get their GEDs. And we have teenagers who dropped out of school. And we provide a way again for them to have that education. I believe education is the key. It is important, right? And again, if I don't get proper education, I'll get education that is of no value to me. And then men that have been broken or defeated by life. So we give them something. Again, go back to I've been broken, I'm bitter, and I need to get better. And that's what this program provides. And then we work with all men of all ages and stages in life. No discrimination. Our organization is to provide to men, regardless of their color, regardless of their skin tone, regardless of where they come from. Our program is to provide to men so we can build. Our community is made up of a different totality of men. And I believe it's important that we build into the lives of every man. Every man is important. All right. And then we're the counselors are part of this program. The objective is that we gain that we help to seek positive results. We give positive results. That's our. I, I don't want you to be a part of the program if you're not going to benefit from it. All right. I always say that one of the things that we can never get back is our time, and so how we pour into or give of our time is valuable, and we want to reap a return on that. Just as is someone entering into our program, it's important that they are not wasting their time so they can reap the benefit of the program. And so our counselors are designed to make sure that every participant and part of this program is reaping positive results. All right. So how will we fund this? We've decided here at Boys to Men that we want no governmental partnership, as though although it could help us to get there faster. I always say that sometimes we have to slow down to speed up, and sometimes we can move fast and not be as effective as we want to be. And so I believe with those government partnerships, I don't want to be in a position that my hands are tied and I'm not able to be as productive as I want to be. And it kind of alters the vision and the mission of what we want to do. So we're going to seek business partners within our community to seek their sponsorship, or they're willing to invest into our program. We're going to do raffles and host events where people are able to seed into what we're doing. And then more importantly, our ministry giving. I believe in the time of seed and harvest, that when we sow, it comes back to us. And especially when we sow into good ground. And I believe sowing into the lives of men is definitely good ground. And then the transition in Boys to Men, the model is resources. We're going to complete evaluations forms to monitor success and the growth and development, and bridge the gap between the church and the streets. And we want to monitor the success. That's the most important thing. What are you gaining from this? Where were you when you entered the program, and where are you now? All right. It is definitely about growth. And we have to be able to have something in place to monitor the growth. And then we will have those tutoring, mentoring for 2 hours of learning and developing. And then the outcome focus would be to start, the outputs would be to start with 60 men and work with those men for 2 hours for 5 days a week to really get engaged. And I believe, again, there's a word called replenish in the Bible. It said subdue and replenish means to put back what you got out. And so we're putting in what we taken out, and then we want to invest in other men and boys so they can put in, and then they can put in what they've taken out. And that's a continuous cycle and circling system. Hey, it is my prayer that after you've taken this moment, that you understand how important it is to us that our vision is to pour into the life of men. It has been a blessing. It's been a joy and a privilege for us to be able to come in and to share into this part of the program. So, hey, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful evening.